You'd think that with all the resellers and all the hype beasts out there that these things would sell out much like any other Air Jordan 1. But no.
Zakaboo Sneaker Reviews.
Welcome to the channel. My name is Zach and you can call me Zakaboo. I'm here for you and any sneakers you might be curious about. No brand snobbing, no shaming. I'm just here to give you guys and girls out there more information about sneakers that you might be interested in buying. And today's the day, folks. Today's the day we finally have an Air Jordan 1 on the channel. The only thing is, unlike most Air Jordan 1s in whatever collar height, be it low top, mids, or highs that have been releasing this past year, not many people really care about these things. And this, my friends, is the Air Jordan 1 Low in Crimson Tint. Let me start by saying that I'm not the biggest Air Jordan guy. Does that make me less of a sneakerhead? No, absolutely not. Growing up, I just never really bothered my parents to buy me a pair of Jordans. And that's because they were already pretty expensive back in the day. Nowhere near the prices right now, but still expensive nonetheless. And that's why I'm not gonna stand here and pretend like I'm some sort of Air Jordan collector or Air Jordan connoisseur just to convince you guys to buy these things. No, I just know enough. Not as much as guys and girls out there who are really into it, but just enough to give all you people out there a more objective view on these things right here. So yeah, these are still pretty much available in a lot of places, whether you buy them from the Nike shop or a reseller, which is so weird to say of any Air Jordan 1 in the year 2021. Most models and colorways actually sell out pretty quickly. So I decided to go ahead and buy these things just so you guys can get a more in-depth look without having to go to a physical store. Are they worth your money? Is the quality okay? I'm really hoping to answer those questions in this review.
Right off the bat, I can tell you that there's really nothing that makes these stand out. To give you the cold hard facts, it's a general release type of Air Jordan 1 Low. Similar color blocking to maybe something like the Breads, but in low top form, which is a nice way to make a new colorway. Not going too crazy, just OG color blocking, but with a different accent color.
Now, the Jordan brand actually already gave the whole crimson tint treatment to a pair of highs, so I will give them props for giving people options when it comes to collar height and whatnot, because I myself, like a lot of people out there, actually prefer low tops.
Going over the materials, and it's a little underwhelming for a shoe from the Jordan brand, especially for a pair of ones. But it's also very telling of the price. So for anyone out there looking to scoop up a more affordable pair of J's, this is a very viable option if you just want Jordan 1s on your feet.
Much like the newer Air Jordan 1s not labeled retro or OG, there are quite a few differences that you can spot. So let's start off with that swoosh.
Unlike the Air Jordan 1 Low OG, be it neutral gray or Chicago, you can see the swoosh has that more streamlined look and shape, which does look more even, but there's something about that bubbly swoosh on the OGs which really gives it a more vintage look. And to be honest, That's the wave. Moving over to the back, and you'll notice that the Wings logo has a very different placement when compared directly to the OG lows. Again, if you just want a pair of 1s on your feet, it's not like anyone's gonna stare at your heels anyway, so wear what you want.
Up front, and you're also going to notice that the shape of the toe is kinda different. The OGs had a much wider toe vamp right there, where all the perforations are. And while a lot of people won't really notice that, a lot of OG heads out there have definitely been seeing for quite a while now, so I understand their frustrations when it comes to the newer stuff and the inconsistencies when it comes to a lot of the releases nowadays. But I myself am just a fan of sneakers. So if it looks good, if it feels good, if it's worth my money, then you know what? Great. The one thing that does remain constant on any Jordan 1 of whatever cut it may be is this right here. Yeah, it's the traction, folks. And as Chris from Wear Testers would say it, this might very well be the greatest traction of all time. It's grippy and it's durable and it's pretty much whatever you need from the bottom of your shoes.
If we're talking about fit and feel, I'll give it to you straight. Typical Air Jordan 1 specs, so that's basically a rubber cupsole, and within that cupsole is a full-on polyurethane midsole with an EVA wedge in the heel. And of course, within that wedge is an encapsulated air sole unit, which honestly I don't feel, but if we're talking about wearing these on the daily, you should be just fine. The insole is the cheap kind though, so if you want more comfort, you can probably grab an aftermarket insole. I do feel like they fit true to size, since I typically wear a 9.5 for most Nike lifestyle models and Jordan retros, and these 10s feel just a little bit longer than I thought. As usual, I only grabbed the 10 because even if these aren't exactly flying off shelves, my shoe size was still sold out. If ever you can't find these anymore on sites like Nike, Capital, and the likes, you can always find some random resellers selling them. The bad news is they're sold at a higher price. The good news is that the resale price is usually about $20 or 1,000 pesos more than what it went for at retail, which is alright considering that something like Nike Dunks without any tech go for about 5,000 pesos or $100 at retail, and now go for an average of 11 to 12,000 pesos, which is nearly $300 for resale. Bruh.
And that's about it for my review on the Air Jordan 1 Low Crimson Tint. Definitely not up to par, at least quality-wise, with the more hyped up Air Jordan 1 releases. But for the price you pay, it's pretty understandable. Now, I will say that if you are starting to get into the whole collecting Air Jordans thing, this isn't a bad way to start at all. Especially because they're easier to get, they're cheaper, plus it's still part of the signature line. So yeah, if you're just getting into Jordans and you're still kind of iffy to drop more money than you should, you can try something like these out. And if you like them, then you can start maybe getting acquainted with the OG colorways and then perhaps invest in your first pair of retros and then go from there. These go for about 4,995 pesos or about $100 US at retail, and I usually see them go for about 6,000 pesos or maybe 120 USD for resale. So if you see anyone out there selling them for more than 6,500 pesos, then skip that shop altogether because you, my friend, are getting gypped. Sorry to all the resellers out there selling it at that particular price or higher, but it is what it is, and I gotta tell the truth. Matter of fact, I myself got these at resale. Just saw them over at Unbox Green Hills. So shout out to Soul Saver PH. They got a cabinet over there. Feel free to go ahead and check them out. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out Home of Bias. Thank you so much for sending over this shirt. I'm more of a Lisa guy myself, but hey, I appreciate it nonetheless. Home of Bias also has a cabinet over at Unbox. In fact, they're actually right next to each other. But hey, if you found this video helpful, or if you just like the content, then by all means, please hit that thumbs up button because it really helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, enable post notifications, and share my videos with your friends because the more subscribers we have, the more giveaways we're also going to have. My name is Zach, you can call me Zachaboo. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.